Inheritance. In this module, you will learn about the concept of inheritance, the various types of inheritance, the concept of single inheritance, the use of super method in derived class to invoke init method, the concept of multiple inheritance, the overriding methods, the override methods of parent class, the abstract methods. In this module, we shall learn about the concept of inheritance in Python. In object-oriented programming, inheritance refers to a mechanism in which a new class is derived from an existing class. This derived class is called as a subclass or a child class. The pre-existing class is known by various names such as base class or parent class or superclass. The mechanism of inheritance brings about hierarchy in classes, and the purpose of inheriting a base class into one or more derived class is mainly to reuse the code. It must be noted that a subclass inherits all the methods and properties of the superclass. A subclass is also capable of creating its own methods by replacing the methods of a superclass. The process of replacing methods defined in superclass with new methods having the same name in the derived class is known as overriding. Before knowing about how we implement the concept of inheritance in Python, let us look at the types of inheritance. Inheritance can be classified into 5 types. They are single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. Let us look at each of these types in detail. Let us begin with single inheritance. Single inheritance is the simplest form of inheritance, in which a subclass is derived from a single base class. Next is multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance is the kind of inheritance in which the derived class becomes the base of another class. Next comes multiple inheritance. In the case of multiple inheritance, the derived class inherits from one or more base class. Moving on to hierarchical inheritance. It is a kind of inheritance in which a base class is inherited by more than one class. The last one is hybrid inheritance, which is a combination of multiple, hierarchical, and multi-level inheritance. Now, let us look at how inheritance can be implemented in Python. Syntax of simple inheritance is shown as follows. Here is a simple example that implements single inheritance. In this example, as you observe, the class billing extends the class customers. The class billing adds 2 instance variables, bill number and amount. In order to add new instance variables, you need to extend the init method defined in class customers. The init function of subclass billing initializes customer ID and customer name attributes of superclass customers and also create new attributes bill number and amount. In the code segment shown on the screen, the object of class customers takes values for instance variables, customer ID and customer name. The object of class billing takes values for instance variables, customer ID, customer name, bill number and amount. The object of class billing can invoke getCustomerName function because it inherits this function from the base class. Similarly, object of class billing can also access instance variables of class customers. You can extend the init function in Python by following any of these ways: by using superfunction, by using name of the superclass. Let us look at each of these methods in detail. In the previous example, the class billing and class customers both have init method. This method is defined in class customers and extended in class billing. In Python, you can use the superfunction to call the methods of the base class which have been extended in derived class. Observe the syntax displayed on the screen. As mentioned earlier, the class billing and class customers both have init method. This method is defined in class customers and extended in class billing. Look at the example displayed on the screen. Thus, it is clear that in Python, you can access the method of the base class, which has been extended in derived class, by using the name of the base class. You must note that Python also encourages a limited form of multiple inheritance. A class definition with multiple base classes is as displayed on the screen. In the case of old-style classes, depth first, left to right is the only rule followed. Thus, if an attribute is missing in subclass name, you can always find it in base 1, then recursively in the base classes of base 1. If it is not found there, as the next option, it can be searched in base 2 and so on. Look at the example as displayed on the screen. In this example, class billing inherits class customers and products. Have a look at the example on your screen. In this example, the object of class billing takes 7 instance variables. The first 5 instance variables have been defined in the base classes, customers and products. The 6th and 7th instance variables are defined in class billing. The method bill.getID displays the bill number, and the method bill.getAmount displays the bill amount. The classes customers and products both have the method show. But as shown in the example, the object bill of class billing accesses the method of class customers. This because of the depth first, left to right rule. Also, the method bill.getID of class billing overrides the methods with the same names in the base classes. Let us now understand the concept of overriding methods. The overriding methods help the programmer to give a particular implementation to a method in the subclass, which has already been implemented in the superclass. Here, you must note that the object that is used to invoke the method determines the version of a method that is executed. To invoke the method, if an object of a parent class is used, then the version in the parent class will be executed. But to invoke the method, if an object of the subclass is used, then the version in the child class will be executed. Look at the example displayed on the screen. As shown in the example, class billing inherits class customers. Both the classes have a function, show. The show function in billing overrides that in customers. The object of class customers will print customer ID and customer name. The object of class billing will print bill number and amount. If you want the function show of class billing to display customer ID, customer name, bill number and amount, then you should call the parent function, that is, customers.show, first inside the show function of the class billing, and then add print commands to display bill number and amount. Let us now look at the concept of abstract methods. An abstract method is a method declared in a parent class that is not implemented within the parent class. The implementation of such an abstract method can be given in the derived class. Method to declare an abstract method with an example is displayed on the screen. In the example, the class rect has an unimplemented method, get_area. The moment you call this function using the object of class rect, it raises a not implemented error. Now, let us see a class rect1 which implements the abstract method of class rect. Any derived class of class rect can implement and override the get_area method. In case the derived class doesn't implement this method, it will have to raise not implemented error exception, as shown in the example. There is a drawback while implementing abstract methods by using the not implemented error exception. That is, if you write a class that inherits from rect and forget to implement the get_area method, the error will only be raised when you try to use that method. In this module, you have learnt that inheritance is a mechanism in which a new class is derived from an already defined class. In single inheritance, a subclass is derived from a single base class. In multi-level inheritance, the derived class becomes the base for another class. In multiple inheritance, the derived class inherits from one or more base classes. In hierarchical inheritance, the base class is inherited by more than one class. Hybrid inheritance is a combination of multiple, hierarchical, and multi-level inheritance. The task of extending the init function in Python can be achieved in two ways. They are by using superfunction and by using name of the superclass. The overriding methods help give a particular implementation to a method in the subclass, which has already been implemented in the superclass. An abstract method is a method declared in a parent class, but not implemented within the parent class.